all draft season long, it was Shedeur Sanders versus Cam Ward. I want to hear your thoughts on that right now in the comment section. We're going to cover their practice clips from the last days and weeks. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. This is the place to get those practice clips. Rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, workout clips, high school recruiting clips. If you want to see what your players are doing behind the scenes, your rookies, your vets, your favorite players from your favorite teams, click that button, stop missing out. We got a lot here because we got a lot of clips of both quarterbacks, and we're going to let it roll. We're going to talk some ball. Start off with Shedeur Sanders. I'm not going to lie. If you followed me over these last 5 months or so, I told you I liked both quarterbacks. I like both these guys for what they are. I like Cam Ward a little better. I like Shedeur Sanders, and I think I'm pretty real when I talk about Shedeur Sanders. I like his accuracy downfield. I like that back fade. I like that fade on the back pylon. I think that's a pretty ball he throws there. I think he's huge in big moments, and I don't like that he drifts in a pocket sometimes when pressured, but that there's always going to be something you're going to work on. I'm very objective and open-minded. And now we got a spectacle. We're had a spectacle or still got a spectacle. It's going to be there all off season long. And we had a quarterback battle in rookie camp. Honestly, you don't have quarterback battles in rookie camp. That's a rare thing. This was a rare spectacle in Cleveland. But he's looking good. He was on point. He was on the money. Look at this one. There he is downfield. Boom. But we're also, we fell in the draft, but we fell to an ambiguous quarterback situation. But Cam Ward's in a situation where he's the guy stepping up. But he's also in a situation where it's going to be some time where they build around him. What I like about Cam Ward is we hit it at the FCS level. We go to Washington State. We hit it there. We go to Miami. We hit it there. We've been successful wherever we went. You can make the same case with Shedeur Sanders, though. Different, though. He's playing with... Well, Shedeur played with different coaches, too. But Ward had different coaches, went different parts of the country, was more on his own in those regards. However, they're both very accurate passers. They both got very fast mental processors. I think the thing I like about Ward's game is when things break down, we don't get chaotic. We throw out off platform when needed. We can throw from a different base. There's back to Shedeur. What I like about Shedeur is we're smooth. I think, I know, and I'll say this, he's more athletic than what people give him props for. And if you haven't heard that, it's just what you heard throughout draft season and the draft season takes. You may not be hearing a lot of that now. You're hearing weird things too. You're seeing a lot of beat writers come to the Browns that are not usually covering football that extensively. So you're getting a lot of non-footballish takes, like top end, high end, like film watcher takes. But a lot of people just look at the stats and they mention he's not as athletic. He's not going to be RG3 or Michael Vick, but he can move a bit. At the FCS level, he showed you he can move a bit. He's got a good arm. I don't hate on the arm. A lot of people hated on the arm during draft season. I like Ward's arm too. I like Ward's feet. I like both the quarterbacks' feet. I do. I honestly like both quarterbacks. I like Ward, though. I'm a big Ward guy. What I like about Ward is he's very stoic. He gives you an honest answer. You can just tell by the way he looks at you in the eyes how quick his response is. He's very smart on his feet when you're talking to him. Not saying anything about Shedeur, but Ward is very smart. Like nobody gives him that credit but me. Or maybe somebody does, but I haven't heard it because I did 2 videos, one on Ward, one on Shedeur. I actually did 4, Ashton Genty and Travis Hunter. They took forever to make. And to do those, I had to watch every single interview I could find on these guys on the internet. The one thing about Ward, he's very composed, very focused. And also, he's got very good manners to him. Looks you straight in the eye. You can tell it's straight up real. What you see is what you get, what you hear is what you get. What I like about Shedeur, he's very calm dude. Very chill. You can get him to break a little bit. That happened a few times at Colorado. But I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't hold it against him because I would have done the same things in some of those scenarios, especially at his age when I was his age. That's kind of like I adapt to that. I'm kind of like him in a way. Like I got some similarities where I understand. Like I understand everything. Like I do the same things. I like to talk my stuff when I'm competitive. I like to say shit. There it is. That ball comes out pretty. There it is. Like, you're not going to get all the pretty balls in camp, too. There's pitch and catch balls. Pitch and catch balls. You're just going to have to keep the bodies open. But, yeah, I talked more shit when I was younger. And I get it. Old heads want to hold that to them. You guys got to let kids be kids. I get it. This feet's good on Cam. That's what I like about him. The feet, how he moves in the pocket and gets it out. He's very chill in the pocket. I like the fact we go to Washington State. We kill it 2 years in a row. We could go out for the draft. We decide to stay in. And then we go to Miami. And we make Miami look good. I think there are people talking about, I knew there were people, like it was on Twitter during in season. They're like, Miami's back. Miami this. How many wide receivers get drafted this year for them? Arroyo, tight end, second round. That's about it. The running back we like went late in the draft. Lester Pro does not get drafted. He hurt himself during the pro day, so that might have impacted that. But I don't think he was going to get drafted high anyways. He's a very nuanced, good wide receiver. There we go. Another thing, I'll bring this up. Watch Washington State. What are they doing up there? Because they got John Mateer going to Oklahoma. Looks like he's leveling up. He looks good. So there's something in the waters at Washington State. I'll definitely say this. Shedeur's got a pretty ball. Dillon Gabriel. He's not a bad backup quarterback. Like a backup prospect that you're developing. But he's not really made or in the position to be in the limelight to be competing with Shedeur. Like, he'll have some moments where he competes with him. He's a good quarterback. There's that ball. That's pretty. And it's not surprising. Shedeur looked better. Like, he has a better arm. He's accurate downfield. Like, it's not surprising. But Gabriel, I'll say this. He's a good quarterback. He's a good, for what he is, quarterback. He's a good backup. You might get some moments where he's starting 5 games here, 3 games here, 6 games here throughout his career where he looks okay. And that's good for the league. That's actually good that's good. That's good for a quarterback. That's better than most of the quarterbacks that come into the league. That's better than most of them. That's what I'm saying. That he's not a bad prospect. But it's different upside-wise. Like Dillon Gabriel gives you a good floor. Gives you a good base. Like a safe base of a developmental quarterback. Shedeur gives you more upside. He's got base to his game, but he gives you more upside. Where he hits. Or Gabriel hits, you got a good quarterback for a little bit, but you're looking for somebody new soon. Cam Ward has tremendous upside. I want to see the Titans build around him. It's going to be some time. They weren't really in position of this draft to really build around him. The wide receiver class was weak this year, especially once you got out of the first round. Your first round pick was used on Ward. You could have made some things happen there, but it really wasn't going to be much help. You got next year's class. You got a rookie quarterback as your starter. Maybe the best thing for him is just get the experience and not win games. So they can get up there, get themselves a good wide receiver maybe in the first round or maybe the year after. Shedeur, honestly, go back to that picture of when he got drafted. That is actually a video of when they were clapping, doing their clap. You look at the front of that picture, the people in the front, the ownership, the GM. They didn't look like they were having it. They didn't look like they were happy. And you had some guys half clapping in the back, some guys full clapping in the back. It's a split room on him. So if he has a run of practices that don't look good, it may be a rough year. You may not see him. However, if we come out balling, if we come out like we've been doing in rookie camp, we put our foot on the pedal. We keep it down there. I bet he starts. I bet you he starts. Joe Flacco, he's looked good in moments at his old age, but we only got so much more time left. Kenny Pickett can't beat out Shedeur. I don't think he's better than Shedeur. If you think that's a hot take, I don't know where you've been the last 2 years. Let's just say that. And I already gave you my stance on Gabriel. I think I've done so many videos I might have confused people. I think that's the best way to say it. Cam Ward, what splits me, and I have him up a little bit higher, it's just when the pocket breaks down, how he holds his composure, how he can play off script. I like how he plays off script. I like how he plays on different angles. I did that video on Shedeur versus Gabriel, but it wasn't my take versus the two quarterbacks. It was that analysis from that radio show. I played the clip and then I made fun of it. So if you watched that and you came back to this, I threw you for a loop because you should have watched the full thing. Because I was making fun of that guy's tape, making fun of that guy's clip. And that's what I do. Sometimes I'll do videos and the thumbnail will be just what the person said, and then my whole video is making fun of that person, and I'm doing the opposite. And it ain't a bait thing. It's just, it's funny. It's funny. That dude said that, and he created stats and everything that didn't make sense, and keeping stats in rookie camp. You can tell he doesn't study ball. He just covers ball. There's a totally different thing than that. Doesn't study ball, just covers ball. Doesn't study it. Never coached. Maybe he's coached. I think once you get out, I think it's something you got to keep up with. I think you got to be watching film all the time. Things change. But I like both quarterbacks. I've been rambling on this. The battle between the two. Let me know who you like the most. Let me know. I'm a Ward guy. I've always been a Ward guy. I liked him in the transfer portal last year. I'll say that. I wanted him to go to Ohio State. That was the quarterback. I get you say Will Howard won it, but that team would have looked totally different. It would have been a lot better. I remember that Michigan, that they would have beat Michigan on top of that if they had Ward. Now you can also say what Shedeur would look like with a different offensive line. But what would he look like without Travis Hunter? What would he look like without that system? What would he look like without his father? You can definitely say that. However, I'm arguing against that because that's not opinion. That's me talking. He's looking good in training in rookie camp right now. I ain't hearing much from OTA practices outside of pictures. You're just not hearing much, but he's been looking good. So that's the rebuttal to that. So I will talk in circles and argue with myself. And that's how you find analysis, and that's just analyzing things from all different perspectives. The one thing I can tell you, both quarterbacks are looking good. We're getting later into the offseason. OTAs are going to ramp up more next week and more the week after that. And then mini camps are like right in the middle of that. Some teams are in OTAs while other teams are in mini camps. That's the fun part. And we'll be rolling with a lot of clips. But I like these quarterbacks. I liked them during the process. I've been saying that the full time. I like them. I think this is going to be a fun spectacle to watch. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.